be among all these wonderful people, all of you that have come out for this event. They say it takes a village, especially if you're the village idiot, to get something done.
I'm full.
Essentially, almost the day a year ago when I found out that I had this book deal. A lot of you don't know how this came about. It was basically a contest winner. So it's like, one day you wake up, you're like, oh, I have a book deal. I didn't have to get an agent. I just have a book deal. So I just feel really, really lucky. It's been an incredible year. It's been a lot of hard work, and there are so many people in this room that I have to thank that I'm going to, starting with the people who lured me, Catherine Texier, and North, and Michael Montlack, who I don't know if he is here yet, but he will be coming, I'm sure. I also want to thank those who've read the stories and helped me revise them. Via Din is here, I know that, and also helped me. And a really big thank you to Ahar Levy, who really was just like my savior for these stories. This is really just the tip of the iceberg. I want to thank a lot of people. Thanks, friends. I want to thank specific friends that came out. Elaine, Ahmad, I hope you're still here from LA, flew out all the way from LA. Darash, who's standing right there, coming from Boston. Patrick from DC. Emily and Brad, I don't know where they're coming from, but they came in too. And I think they just came from Nantucket, so that's really fantastic. I know there are other people, but you know what, I'm forgetting. Who else? What? Claire from Toronto, who's like right here. There she is. Claire came in from Toronto. That was really great. Patrick's girlfriend came in from Orlando, so that's really awesome. So thank you to all those people. Special shout outs also to TJ. Really, this space would not look the way that it does without the great people of Gowanus Ballroom who really put in an incredible effort to make it look like it does right now. And leading that pack was definitely TJ, who was here all day.
Good job, TJ!
He's just an amazing help. I'm going to forget people. I'm going to also want to thank all the performers, Susan Burns, Maya Solovey, Taylor. Coming up after me will be the Disco Sticks, so I'll thank them now and later. And Susan will be performing again. So just thank you all for coming. It's been a real pleasure. I'm reading the shortest story in the book on purpose, with a very special shout out to I have lots of friends from writers' conferences that are here, but the most represented conference. Not that any of you are not any better or worse as conferences, but the conference that's most represented is SLS Russia. There's a lot of people from SLS Russia here, so this takes place in Russia, and it's called The Coming Revolution. I want to tongue kiss a boy in a straight bar in St. Petersburg, Russia. Not a noble pursuit or a fulfillment of a lifelong dream, not even something that would be close to the top of a list of things to do, should I even bother to make such a list, which I won't. But right now, yes, I want to feel my spit crevicing around another boy's gums on the dinky, dimly lit dance floor of a bar not too far from the Nevsky Prospect, or perhaps Lvovsky, but certainly near one of the major canals of the Venice of the North, in the country that gave us Pushkin and Stalin, Tchaikovsky and dancing bears. I want the boy to be Russian. I want him to look Russian, act Russian, dress Russian, speak only Russian, except for 7 words. You're hot. Will you kiss me, please? His lips, Molotov pink. His eyes blue as the Smolny Cathedral. His skin fairer than any Romanov's. He should smell Russian, but not like a Russian, who could very well smell of vodka or sour cream, or herring, or all 3. No, he should smell like the idea of Russia, a fragrant wind swirling through centuries and philosophies, across oceans and dense, frigid continents, the pungent bouquet of accumulated contradictions. I want to kiss him because I can. Well, I shouldn't say can't. I can, but at the risk of violence. Perhaps not violence, but at the very least interference, interrupting our kiss at the moment not of my own choosing, which wouldn't be satisfying, really. If I'm going to kiss a Russian boy in a bar in Petersburg, it should be a long, drawn-out kiss, cursive and purposeful like a river, maddening and endless like the daylight of the late June sky. Together we can feel an all-consuming perestroika, a dazzling surrender of our breaths to each other's lungs. We could, but I imagine we won't. What we will feel is hands upon us, disapproving hands with hairy knuckles, prying us apart and screaming at us, unintelligibly to me, although I'm sure I'll understand. Words most foul and not particularly tourist-friendly. What we will feel is the thrust through an unmarked door, the repel of instant judgment, the slicing murmurs of people who can no longer enjoy themselves because we've upset their natural order. Now, if I were a woman, this wouldn't be an issue. The Russian service industry accommodates lesbians quite smoothly. Claire. Which, to be fair, is sort of true everywhere else in the world as well, but particularly true in Petersburg, where the women are just demonstrably more beautiful than the men. Even in my most generous moments, and when I'm really horny, I can be quite generous, I cannot deny the fact that two tricked-out on eyeliner Avril Lavigne-esque Natasha's currently second face to my right make a far more aesthetically pleasing sight than an average Boris and Dmitry homophobe. But is it fair to base decisions on aesthetics? Are we going to ask ugly people not to make out at a bar now? Are we face control the lame, the zoftig, the large nose and zitted, the shiny foreheaded, the gap tooth? Besides, aesthetics are subjective, and many of the above leave some people breathless with anticipation. And even if I were to round up a pair of incontrovertibly gorgeous men to perform a polka-choo-choo pleasing lip lock, this would still not win over the masses. Several questions pop up in my mind about this. As the straight population gets more and more queer, and more men are brazenly requesting their girlfriends to shove things up their asses, be as tiny as pinky fingers, or as large as strap-on horse dildos, I wonder if such perversions have spread out to our manly men comrades of the former Soviet Republic. Closet prostate queens have probably existed there, everywhere, for millennia and beyond. But are these football and vodka-obsessed beat on my wife for sport types really beginning to get vocal about their need for backdoor exploration? Not that we really have here in the States yet, honestly, outside the big cities. Case in point, walking to the club this evening, I hear one of my fellow country people from Dallas make a comment about she would never bring her husband to Russia after she got married. So I make a comment back about how he would have less to worry about than she did, as the Russian men aren't exactly break-up my marriage material. She agreed and then added that apparently Russian women were very attractive. Apparently? Devichka, please. Are girls from Dallas so afraid of appearing to be gay that they can't even call other women attractive? Yet remarking on the attractiveness of someone of your own gender instantly renders you a fag, or at least a hetero of questionable integrity, then the world truly is not involved. Does the Avril Lavigne reference date this piece? Maybe I'll remove it. Here's why I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic that by the time people no longer know who Avril Lavigne is, my entire story will already be dated. By this I mean people will be reading and saying, boys can kiss each other in bars in St. Petersburg? Really? Aw, prejudice. How precious. I'm optimistic that even in a place like Russia where the hairs on the furry-backed men grow hairs, where there are high-built marathons for women, where sexist stereotyping is the air that you breathe, not that I'm breathing anything different, that even in this regressive backward enlightenment will soon rear its rainbow head and allow for fairies to escape our home. Because I have seen the future and it is metrosexualized. Boys have feelings now, which they wear on the sleeves of their fitted Ted Baker button-down shirts, featuring more than just a hint of the following colors: magenta, lavender, seafoam. Boys accessorize. Their belts match their shoes, their titanium frames are purchased to bring out the hazel accents in their eyes. They skin cream, they floss, they pluck, they trim, they fashion magazine, they latte, they suppose instead of guess, they wonder instead of think, they perhaps instead of maybe. They watch quirky television shows with female lead characters while sipping microbrews accompanied by artisanal cheeses accompanied by condiments such as white watermelon mustard or sour cherry fig compote. They know the difference between a halter top and a tube, a mule, and an espadrille. But do I want to kiss a metrosexual? If he's capital H hottie, yes. If he is drunk and seeking escape, no. If it's part of his journey towards self-acceptance, yes. If he's using me to get his girlfriend jealous, no. If it's full on with tongue, yes, yes, hell yes. If it's on the top of his head or the part of his cheek where his grandfather also kisses him, no. If it means I'm a naughty, home-wrecking homo seeking to seduce young, impressionable, God-fearing straight boys to join the dark side by the simplest flick of my tongue, 1,000 times yes. If Putin himself would be upset, yes, but with an asterisk who stipulates that I am not subject to polonium poisoning at any point moment for the rest of my trip and beyond. If he needs to confirm he is straight, no. If it's out of pity for me, because he understands how hard it is to want something as hot as him and never be able to really get it, no. If it makes him hard, yes, but only if it makes him happy hard and not confused hard. Only if he doesn't have to have an instant orientation crisis on the spot. If the moon is red and we are midnight cruising on the Neva and the glittery bridges are about to rise up and the drunk Russians in the boat alongside us are toasting us with Putinka and I reach for him and he doesn't hesitate and some of the Russians boo, but some of them cheer, less loudly, yes. If his breath smells of Bokarov, no. If it smells of Baltica 8, spicy and sweet like a good microbrewed white beer should, yes. If he is hesitant, no. If he's at first hesitant, but then loosens up because he suddenly realizes my lips and my mouth and my very being excite him, yes. If he's a bad kisser, no. If he's a bad kisser I can make better, maybe. If he's a bad kisser because he's only kissed women and now he understands what it means to kiss it and be kissed, what it means to feel deep, primal, sloppy lust, hell to the yes. He smells like Drakkar, no, but what self-respecting metro would smell like Drakkar? If it's so good we need to get a room, yes. If it's so good, I start to fall in love with him, start imagining us in Mars Field, feeding each other grapes and starting sending him cryptic notes about our super close friendship, and then even more cryptic haikus that upset me when he doesn't manage to decipher them. No. Forgive me. I'm a man of stipulations. Surprise performance, and then 15 minutes after that, the Disco Sticks. They're going to be awesome. A little bit about the Disco Sticks. They are an all-male band that performs only female pop songs, mostly from the 80s, I think, and hopefully Shane will be wearing a dress. Okay, so 10 minutes surprise performance. Enjoy yourselves. Thanks again.